Hi, I'm Leilani Smith, and thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Leilani Drinks the Brown Stuff in my backyard. You guys know by now that Scotch is like the lowest on my list. It's a high priority for a lot of people, especially a lot of whiskey drinkers, because it's supposed to be number one. It is like number 6 for me. I remember trying Lefroy. I think that's how you say it, Lefroy. It looks like Lefrog, but it's Lefroy. And it's a Scotch whiskey, very popular, but it was super peaty, super mossy. It was a Highland whiskey. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared, y'all. So I ended up taking a sip and I was thrown aback. It was a little bit too much for these taste buds. But doing the show, obviously, I'm gonna have to try some Scotch. And what was so great trying the Glencairn in previous episodes was the fact that Glencairn was like the perfect balance. Like, even though it said it wasn't made with peat, I guess in Scotland, the osmosis of water or whatever, I could taste peat, I could taste the moss, but everything was, even the medicinal part of it was just so well balanced. I didn't feel like I had to chew my whiskey, which is what I feel like when I drink Scotch, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, I'll get to chewing if I have to. Love me some whiskey. Tonight, because of Glencairn and because it changed my mind and because I've gotten a nice new acquired taste, we are getting into Old Tullymet. It's about 80%, 80 proof, and it is 40% alcohol. Now, again, these are one of those whiskeys that had little to no information on their website. And what was interesting was that it had about, what did they say? 2 times the amount of single malt Scotch than most of the high mass producing Scotch whiskeys do. And this is a blended Scotch. So 2 times the amount is super fantastic because I got this bottle for $10, y'all. You know I like a good sale. $10 is great. Also a little scary. But we'll get into that because this has basically been barrel aged for at least the minimum of 3 years, and it is the major component to the Dewar's whiskey. So Tullymet be putting in some work. Go Tully, go Tully, go Tully. It's your birthday. So let's go ahead and crack this bottle open. Oh man, oh man. I mean, what did you expect for $10? Interesting. I smell like an orange peel again. Please God, not too much. But there's a little scent of vanilla. You can smell a little bit of that Scotch, peat and moss, but it's not overpowering. The medicinal doesn't even smell overpowering. I could smell caramel. Maybe there's a lot of caramel. Remember what I told you about the E150 Scotch caramel coloring? But I'm gonna have me some caramel for $10, and we gonna do a woman's pour with this $10 bottle of whiskey. While it's sitting, just as a little bit of history of what I was able to find out around, I would say Tullymet gets its name from the Tullymet single malt distillery. Now, that was basically under the Nagi distillery, and I'm sure I just butchered that. Nagi distillery at around 1811. Now, trust me when I say I looked up the name and I tried to get the right pronunciation. I'm sure I butchered it, but please love me anyway. After they had developed this whiskey around 1811, around 1890, the name got changed to Tullymet. Now, this distillery happened to be the major supplier to all the local whiskey merchants that came in. They just supplied this really nice bulk malt for everyone. The demands got too high. They became too popular. Things grew too fast. They just got inundated with orders and had to close their doors around 1911. That's what happened to Old Tullymet. But now they say this is the rebirth of a legendary Scot. So let's get to rebirthing. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. It's $10, y'all. And I don't need headaches in my life. I'm too old for that. And Look, for $10, I was really nervous about grabbing this bottle. I mean, look at the sticker. I felt like I just made it and just slapped it on a bottle and was like, here, drink my whiskey. I mean, there's no problem with homemade looking labels, but usually I'm not trying to drink them either. That's my whiskey. And you telling me to drink it, I know, but all right, let's. Some caramel notes. It didn't sting my mouth. It actually has given me a nice warm feeling all over. I feel like I'm getting the glow. Let me try this again. I'm surprised, y'all. For $10? You guys, are you freaking kidding me right now? And you know the word I wanted to say just then. For this $10 bottle, yes, I can taste some notes of caramel and vanilla. I can definitely get a sense, a little bit of the peat and some of the moss. It doesn't lay on the tongue. It's not medicinal. I don't feel like I'm chewing it. It slides down and warmth shoots out. And I feel like it's coming out of my pores in a rays. $10, y'all. I ain't scared anymore. It's things like this, it's discoveries like this that make me realize and know that I can drink some scotch. And scotch might be moving up in the levels here because of the lower budget scotches. So I'm sure these expensive scotches will have to do the trick because now they're gonna have to work against the Tullymet. So tonight, I am going to give Tullymet, 3.5. It's a really nice whiskey, y'all. And for $10, oh my gosh, I think you could be drinking this every night with a woman's pour. Oh, a bug just landed in my whiskey. Oh, you can have none. And I think it's just gone. Poor buggy bug. It went a good way. Who doesn't want to go in a bed of whiskey, and especially the Tullymet? And for $10, I think I'll be buying about 4 to 5 bottles the next time. Cheers.